Ciao,
Ciao,
come stai?
molto bene, tu?
Ah, buonissimo. Come ti chiami?
Mi chiamo Djordje,
Djordje.
e tu?
Mi chiamo Ryan.
Ryan.
Sì. Benvenuto al podcast
Grazie.
The Open Eye. L'occhio aperto. Fact check that one. Why don't you talk about who you are, what you do, why you're here? Yeah, that's that.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm Djordje Novakovic. I'm from Serbia. I am 28 anni. What are the questions? No, I'm kidding. I played volleyball most of my life, and I'm trying to be a coach. Well, will be a coach.
Mm-hmm.
One day at the top of the world, hopefully, but we'll see. A lot of work needs to be done before that. I finished school in America, Trinity Christian College, played volleyball there, and then I came here to get my master's degree in coaching.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so kind of studying and trying to coach here.
Yeah.
And collect experience, and just develop myself in every way.
Yeah. As I will say, I'm doing the exact same thing. I played. I'm trying to, transition, get the master's degree, see what's next.
Yeah.
What have you liked the most about living out here in Rome compared to living in Chicago or Illinois, and Serbia?
Yeah. Well, I think the biggest thing is that since this is not my first time going to a different country on my own,
Mm-hmm.
I did it with America. Like coming here, I was able to, blend in with the culture better, if that makes sense. Like, kind of learn the ways of the country faster,
Right.
and just like that experience, it's amazing comparison to when I went to the States. It took me a while.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was struggling at the beginning, but like here it was like that. So I think that's like a big experience for me. And I just, here for the people mostly, not like, it's gonna sound bad, but not the diploma or anything,
Yeah.
I don't really care about that. It's the connections and the experiences you collect throughout this journey, right?
I totally agree. Like, obviously, there's a drive to get the qualification, certification, so you can,
Yeah.
get the job you want and get the pay level you want, showing how qualified you are. But I think if you come to a situation like this and you don't have the mindset where you're trying to interact with people and network and put yourself in circles that you might want to find in the future, in LA we have everything, but it's impossible to break into the Serie A over there.
Yeah.
It's
yeah,
very
that's
possible
true.
here.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think it's good to have that kind of mentality about things, to apply yourself beyond, the minimal you need to pass your classes.
Yeah. I think it's just time spent better.
Mm-hmm.
Different things than studying. Of course, you need to study to learn things, but not studying things you don't need to know.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you do. Like I did in Trinity. I was studying things I really didn't care about.
Yeah.
So I graduated in sports studies actually.
That doesn't sound real.
I did a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
It's not just like the science of the body, but like also the coaching and psychology part of it. So it's kind of like wraps around. But yeah, like just, you know, for example, I'm trying to be a coach. So I met people and I told them I want to be a coach, and of course they're from the volleyball world.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, there's multiple clubs I can go to any day to coach, you know, and that's why I'm like paying for school and being here.
Right.
For that opportunity.
Right.
You know.
Certainly difficult to do that when you come to a different country. We don't speak the language at first.
Yeah, that is true. But you know, I think it's better that way. So you have to learn the language, because it's always good to learn a new language.
I totally agree. And there are some people that don't have that same mentality.
Yeah.
And therefore they don't get the same opportunities.
I just don't think people like see, well, they'll think I know they don't see the world the same, but like some people just don't see the possibilities of different views of certain experiences, you know, and I think that limits them, unfortunately.
Yeah.
They just cannot go beyond, you know, what's going on in front of them. So they don't see those opportunities, you know, but there's a lot of, you know, different things that are important here, like multiple things that you need to pick up, you know, and make sure I get all of them.
Yeah. I read this one thing online because, you know, obviously at our school we learn Italian, but we learn like the very formal Italian in Rome. If you try to speak formal Italian, like that's not good. No one who's from Rome speaks Italian. You know, they have their own dialect.
Italian according to books.
Yes, yeah. Literally book Italian, textbook. And like for us, when we are trying to say stuff like, you know, che cosa fai nel tempo libero, you know, when you say that, people give you a look like, oh my God, this person's fucking stupid, you know, they don't even know what they're saying. Because, you know, Roman would say something, oh, che cosa, you know, some shit like that. And so I, you know, took the time to like try to learn some Roman dialect. So it's things like non me rompe cazzo. Like, don't break my balls, you know. Don't bother me, pretty much, you know. And there's one thing that a lot of Romans say. It's the most, you know, impactful thing. Is just die. It's like you hear it everywhere. Die. And if you're if you're American visiting Italy, or even like if someone from the UK or Australia, you're gonna hear little kids screaming to their grandma and grandpa, die, die, die. You're like, you might be very confused. But they're just saying, hey, come on, you know.
In Serbia, we also say die.
Yeah.
For come on.
Yeah.
Die. Yeah, that's interesting, bro. Yeah, I mean, you're not gonna speak.
No.
Even for me in America, like, it's different when you're there and you're listening to people talk.
Yeah.
It's part of every country. It's like, it's not how it is in the books.
Literally.
It evolved a little bit.
And Napoli is like, what, a couple hours away on the train. And you go there, no one is speaking Italian. They're speaking Neapolitan. They don't speak Italian there.
Yeah.
It's mind-blowing.
Yeah, we have a couple towns and villages in south of Serbia that we just, like, you can understand them, but you're struggling sometimes.
Yeah.
The way they speak is just so different. And we usually make fun of them, but it's a joke in Serbia, but you know.
You idiot. Can't even speak. Let's talk about Serbia a little bit.
Okay.
So, what year were you born in?
1994.
1994. So this is a few years after the fall of the Soviet Union. A young Djordje Novakovic is born in Belgrade.
Subotica.
Subotica.
See.
And what is the social climate like in this time?
This time or
Like late 90s, early 2000s.
oh, it's wild, bro.
Mm.
It's wild. Like even before I was born, it was wild for a long time.
Mm.
Just people on the edge constantly for years.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, you know, it's hard. Like before I was born, there was a hyperinflation
Mm-hmm.
of around 1,000-something%, couple thousand, I can't remember.
Yeah.
Like you get your paycheck at 8 a.m. and by noon it's gone.
Yeah,
Like,
that's.
if you didn't spend it, that's it. Like that's insane.
Mm-hmm.
That was before my time. Like my parents were young. But when I was born, it was like recovering from that. And then in the '99, there was bombing of Serbia.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't remember a lot of it because I was a kid, but I
Mhm.
still, remember being with friends outside. Like every time we would hear sirens, you just go outside
Mm-hmm.
and look at the sky, wait for the bomb.
Wait for death.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Yeah, but luckily never hit it in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think, well, maybe like in surrounding villages, a couple miles, but not in the city, the town. And like, electricity restrictions. Well, obviously, we didn't have a lot of money. It was like kind of, we were poor, pretty much. Well, not like homeless poor, but it was a struggle.
Mm-hmm.
And people around me struggled as well, like my friends. So it was like, they're the friends that I'm still like best friends with to this day.
Yeah.
During the after bombing, like elementary school when I started going to school, it was like, might not be able to get all the books, because but luckily my mom worked in the fucking like a bookstore,
Mm-hmm.
so I got all that shit. But yeah, it was it's pretty tense.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty tense, not gonna lie.
Yeah, I mean, I was born in 2000, 1 year after that, and no one talks about, something like that, like, the USA is just bombing someone,
Yeah, of course they're
the
not gonna-
21st century pretty much, like,
Of course they're not gonna say that, bro.
Yeah.
Like it's they don't want people to know that. They don't want, because if people knew what they were doing, they would be done.
mm-hmm.
But they don't. I would say all the crimes committed around the world, it's just, it's crazy. But me coming from Serbia to America, and I know what I've been through. I know all the experiences. I know everything. Not everything. I don't know everything, but like,
Everything
of
you know,
of my experiences.
Yeah.
Coming to the States and just looking how oblivious people are, but not like I don't mean that in a bad way. They just have no idea. They're just uninformed.
Yeah.
I think that's why people think Americans are stupid in general. But I think they're not informed properly.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. If they were informed properly, they wouldn't be idiots.
Yeah.
And it's a lot about media, right? But like, and I was able to see that. Like, I was shocked at like how much people don't know about anything,
Mm-hmm.
But like they don't know anything about the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Besides U.S.
Pretty much.
And
a lot of people don't even know much about the U.S. either.
Yeah, that's the sad part. But like being in school in America, I had history, one of the classes I didn't want to take.
Mm-hmm.
It was just, they mentioned World War II, mentioned World War I because they were involved in it.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about it. Like you have like in college we did have like, more advanced history of like Europe and all that, but I don't think I don't know, you tell me, do you learn about it in schools? Like,
I mean, I learned about it because I'm a history nerd.
okay, well that's different.
I took all the AP classes in high school, and I have a minor in history for no reason.
It's good to know. It's good
Yeah,
to know.
I mean, I love history because I do think history repeats itself. I mean,
But why does it repeat itself?
because people don't study enough history, clearly.
Exactly.
So
They don't learn from the mistakes, bro.
yeah, but the thing is, right, we'll start talking about history and everyone's gonna click off the video because no one wants to hear about it. That's the sad part.
I don't know, but like it's important to, because you cannot talk about one thing just for, everything is connected.
Yeah.
Every experience, view, whatever, it's not here by itself.
Mm-hmm.
It's connected to many different things. And if you want to hit the point, I think, with something, you gotta
Trace it back, get the context.
Yeah, because I don't think good conversations are like, let's say good. What's the word I'm looking for? Like meaningful, maybe conversations are not simple.
Yeah,
Like you need to expand and really get into it.
that's really true.
I don't know. But yeah, so back to Serbia. Yeah, it was like it was my point. It was tense.
Yeah, just a little.
But like even with that, like being tense and stuff, I'm very happy with my childhood.
Mm-hmm.
Like I didn't have like a lot of money and all that, but I had very good friends. We'd hang out all the time. We were all broke, so we, went through that struggle together. You do that with a lot of people in Serbia, and that's why friendships last longer. I think is because when friendships are going through some bad shit together, it becomes stronger bond than just enjoying good things.
Right. I mean, or they can break, obviously.
Yeah.
But if they do survive, they create stronger bonds and everything moves on better. I can see how some trauma like that could cause a place like Serbia to be more connected. And I mean, I've never been there. Obviously we have these stereotypes of Serbian people as, tall, strong, killer mentality, but like in reality, they live happier, more wholesome lives than most Americans do. Even with the more freedom Americans have, they tend to focus on the worst parts of life instead of just focusing on themselves and their inner communities and just trying to, bring everyone up together.
Yeah. I mean, let me phrase this in my head real quick. Fuck, I lost my thought.
Like English is not his first language.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
He's a killer, just like most Serbians.
Yeah, but so the stereotypes, they're kind of true. Like they're stereotypes for a reason, right? But the problem is, I don't think Serbians are aware of how much rich their life is compared to the West.
Yeah.
Because the whole planet values materialism. Everything's materialistic. It's value. If you can't see it, if you can't touch it, if you can't smell it, it doesn't have any value. And that's why we're taught from the young age, and you cannot see any different. But the real value is this interconnection with people, friends. How do you feel your soul? Everything.
Right.
That's the real value, and I think, even though you have to go through some struggle to actually understand that value, because people who have not been through some bad times don't really value what they have. Not all of them, of course, but I think the majority. So, like me, I value those things. I try to look beyond materialism,
Right.
and I think people in general, everybody should start doing that. Because it's gonna open your eyes and your mind a little bit.
Nice.
To different things.
Definitely. I know you're informed of the political climate, especially in America, but around the world.
Yeah.
Where do you see America heading? And where do you see the world heading? Because I've spoken to many people here in Italy who all believe that the decisions that America makes heavily influences other countries around the world. Yeah. And like they get terrified when even a state like Alabama or Georgia is cracking down on something like abortion or, you know, voting rights in one way or another. And, you know, the other people are concerned about that. So where do you see America heading in the world as a whole?
Well, I think I'm pretty confident it will go in the right direction. But it doesn't seem like it right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think over the next 5-10 years, things are going to be completely different than what they're now. The perception of our reality is going to be different.
Yeah.
From what it is right now. But I think if things will turn around for America and the rest of the world, and that is true actually, like everybody in the world is like, oh shit, like whatever happens in America, like the fucking election between Trump and Hillary, like we were like, if Hillary wins, we're dead. Like that's just a common, you know, belief in Serbia. If Hillary won that election, we would be gone. Lucky for us, it didn't.
Yeah. Okay.
But the problem is that Americans don't really like Trump. Like it didn't, at least. Now more people like him, but before, like he started, like everybody was attacking him, nobody liked him. Everybody else around the world did.
Yeah.
And that's the crazy thing. That's coming back to, you know, not being informed about what's going on around the world, you know. Like everybody's like, oh, Obama, you know, best president, but no, like he started so many wars and dropped so many bombs around the world that it's crazy, and Trump didn't start one war. And like, you know, Americans will not pay as much attention to that like other countries around the world because they're not impacted by it.
Yeah.
You know,
they're not really seeing it.
Yeah, yeah. So yes, like what happens in America is very important for the rest of the world. Like that's just a fact, I think, at this point. You know, there's a couple of powers going for it. You know, you have Trump, who's like a Republican, but I don't believe he's a Republican. He just needed a party to get there.
Yeah.
But and like on the other side you have the Democrats. Let's see, Democrats, but they're all the same. So it's like, no, I'm not either. I'm just saying like there's this and that, and like the senators and all that, they're all the same bunch. It's just a show for the people. And then like on the Biden side, right now you have globalists, right, with Klaus Schwab and all the other big heads out there who, you know, try to establish a one world government, and that's like not a conspiracy theory because you can literally Google Georgia Guidestones that were taken down a couple of months ago, I think. Yeah, so you know, depending on what happens between them is going to determine the rest of the world.
Yeah.
Because if globalists win this battle that we do not see, there's a war going on behind us that we're just not aware of. And it involves multiple countries around the world. Whoever wins that war is gonna, you know, and now it's all, you know, about you like better.
Right.
Do you want the one world government or you don't?
No, I mean, the thing is, right, our democratic government was built on the fact that everyone had their own unique point of view. And when you come together and you contrast those ideas, come up with more well-rounded solutions that fit a lot of people. But nowadays, our politicians are basically just tribalists, and they'll just say whatever their side is saying because they're competing to defeat the other side. When in reality, everyone should be focusing more on the issues that impact themselves and come together with other people, because everyone has a lot of things in common. Everyone in America, they have a lot of things in common that they share with their neighbors. Even beliefs, they're just framed in a certain way where you only identify based on one side of the aisle instead of looking at which call him in the entire arena, you know? And like that's where it breaks down, and right now it's breaking down. And
it is. I think that it's gonna get much worse.
mm-hmm.
I think next couple of months, years maybe. It's gonna get a lot worse, but you know, in order for a change, something bad needs to happen first.
Yeah.
In order for it to be better. It's that, you know, I think something like a bad experience is a catalyst for the change. So, you know, it's gonna be bad. And this is about people realizing what's going on. Like
Mm-hmm.
that's it. If people knew what's going on around the world, like if they knew the truth about everything, we wouldn't be here right now.
Yeah.
But they don't, and is it good, is it bad? Doesn't matter. It's a fact and it's happening. So, you know, we can debate whatever, you know, oh, it's better this or that. No, it's like happening right now. And, you know, once people figure shit out, like, you know, I'm not even talking about like government secrets or anything like that, aliens or whatever. No, like just like the way the system is set up
Mm-hmm.
for you to live. Just think about it. That's all. Think about it. Don't sit down with yourself and think about it. Does it make sense?
Yeah.
I don't think it does. We're just a bunch of slaves.
Yeah. I think, you know, we're talking about history. We really need to return to the democratic, like, values that consist of a republic, and study that stuff so we know, you know, the right mentality to have when it comes to dealing with these issues that are really important and are not being solved right now.
Yeah, I don't think that's possible right now.
Okay, well then the only other option is to burn it down and start over.
I think that's what's gonna happen.
Where do we go? What do we do?
We go to the bottom and then we go up. We'll figure it out. You know, once the world crumbles as we know it, new opportunities are gonna rise, and I think we will witness that. And by witnessing what's going on, we will understand more, and then your perception will change. I think your
Mm-hmm.
reality. You're gonna look at things differently from that point. Not everyone, of course, but you know, a lot of people will. And I mean, good things have been invented a long time ago that can help us.
Yeah.
A lot of good things, but we don't have them. They exist, but we don't have them. You know, there's a lot, like everything needs to change. Everything, like health system, school system, like education systems, the economy, everything is off.
Yeah.
You know, and also I don't think right now the democratic government would work because there's too many idiots.
There are quite a few.
And I believe really, like, if you try to get the democratic party system in somewhere in the country, like, it's not possible, because everywhere where democracy goes, it's cheating. It's openly cheating. Like, you just have to pay attention, you know.
Yeah.
Like the fucking elections in Serbia. I mean, it's like crazy. Like, you can predict who's gonna win. So, you know, we are not ready for that yet. But I think we will be one day. I think we need something we have not thought of yet.
Mm-hmm.
Some way of, to say ruling, but it's not ruling, of operating, you know, a community, for example, you know.
Yeah.
Some way that we are not aware of yet, but we will be, hopefully.
Yeah. And if you watch our episode on psychedelics, you will know that there's someone out there who should be thinking about this problem a lot. And maybe with a little help, some other natural substance could help unlock the solution that we do need.
Yes, because DMT is produced in our brain naturally.
Mm.
It's just limited. What produces DMT? I think it's the pineal gland. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Perennial.
Pineal.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's like the little thing in your brain. It's like in the center of the brain.
Yeah.
Some people say it's like the home of the soul.
Yeah.
And it produces DMT, and it's been damaged for us humans for a long time, I believe, and we're not using it properly, you know.
Yeah.
But if this is just my assumption, like if it was not damaged, you know, more DMT would be produced, and then since it would be constant, it wouldn't be like you take a dose right now and you're just gone. Like if it's constant with you since you were born, you have that dose of, it's like your eyes are opening, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You become a visionary of some sort.
Right.
And just imagine everybody just like that.
Yeah.
And that's like a normal state, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And just where would humanity be?
Right.
We have no fucking, you cannot predict that.
You're totally right. I mean, obviously I don't think everybody should do it because there are some people that, you know, have too much anxiety. And
Yeah,
stuff.
of course.
But I really think that an alternate experience can really help some people with their day-to-day life and solving the problems that they have and accomplishing what they want to accomplish with their lives.
But yeah, you have to be careful with, you know, drugs.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I believe drugs are, you know, they are here on the planet. It's a plant, so it should be here. Now, are we using it in the right way? That's the question, you know. We don't know.
Yeah.
But, you know, just don't be stupid with it, pretty much.
Yeah, just don't be stupid. You know, be super safe.
Yeah.
And like naturally, like it happens. Like, you know, it's normal to have anxiety to do anything, you know. But if you're there with someone that you trust who has done it, and you know that they can make sure you're safe, then that's all you need.
Yeah.
Yeah, and don't go to your school's spring carnival when you're on shrooms. It's a horrible idea.